At the very end of September, Epic Games, the creators of Fortnite, announced that it would be axing off 16% of its current workforce, which amounts to around 830 employees. Now, Epic Games isn't the only tech company this year to find themselves in the position of cutting jobs and making people unemployed. Google, Reddit, Spotify, LinkedIn, Vice Media, BuzzFeed, EA, Amazon, Meta, Take-Two Interactive, Yahoo, Disney, and PayPal are just some of the bigger companies that have opted to downsize. In an all-staff email which is now available on Epic's website, founder and CEO Tim Sweeney, with a casual net worth of around $9.6 billion, stated that we've been spending way more money than we earn, investing in the next evolution of Epic and growing Fortnite as a metaverse-inspired ecosystem for creators. I had long been optimistic that we would power through this transition without layoffs, but in retrospect, I see that this was unrealistic. Those affected will be offered a 6-month base pay as severance, along 6 months of Epic paid healthcare for those based in the US, Canada, and Brazil, which for an American company sounds like a surprisingly good offer. For a company that has a cash cow in Fortnite, which brought an estimated $9 billion alone in 2018 and 2019, which is just ridiculous, the question has to be asked: why did Epic Games need to fire 60% of its staff? In April 2022, Epic Games confirmed that they had raised $2 billion from Sony, who was already an existing investor, and the Kirk B investment company, the family which also owns Lego. This investment from the two companies, who each own a slice of Epic Games, essentially gave the company a value of $32 billion. One of the areas where Epic Games is seemingly investing a lot of its funds is in the creation of the Metaverse. Back at GDC 2023, Tim Sweeney doubled down on a need to build a metaverse that is open, stating that the games industry is the perfect place for an open system to be involved because there's not one predominant company that can dictate terms. You already have Mark Zuckerberg throwing $36 billion so far at building their metaverse, and maybe I might be a bit too old-fashioned here, but the idea of spending parts of my life within a universe built by companies is something I have zero interest in. Then there's the Epic Games Store. In recent years, Epic has taken huge steps in wanting to become a viable alternative to Steam. However, as Epic have been finding out, this is a pretty costly thing to do. Costly to the point where the company themselves has projected that the Epic Games Store losses will reach around $1 billion, and it will take till 2025 for the store to become profitable. Launching programs such as First Run, which lets developers keep 100% of revenue for the first 6 months in return for keeping their game exclusive with Epic, shows the company is trying to build Epic Games Store as a viable competitor to Steam, but they certainly have a long way to go. Then there's the very costly ongoing legal feud it has with Apple. Now, this topic alone is worthy of its own video, but to get straight to the point, Epic filed an antitrust lawsuit against Apple due to the company taking a percentage of every purchase made on iOS, including in-app purchases. This they extended to Epic Games suing Google as well, which then involved Google countersuing. I'm no lawyer or accountant, but somehow I can imagine suing both Apple and Google is one very costly venture to undertake. With documents showing that Epic took home around $700 million after Apple took its cut, it's safe to say that Epic Games is losing out on literally hundreds of millions of dollars ever since it had been pulled from both the App Store and Google Play a few years back. And then towards the end of last year, Epic Games had to pay over $500 million in Fortnite refunds after the Federal Trade Commission alleged that the company had violated children's privacy laws and used questionable methods in getting millions of players to make unintentional purchases. Again, I am no accountant, but I don't know. Something tells me that all these legal bills are really beginning to add up. It doesn't matter how much money you're bringing in. If you're spending potentially between $500 million to $1 billion, maybe more, in settling court cases and suing giant companies, it's going to hurt. And lastly, Epic Games has made some questionable purchases these past 2 years, like when they bought Bandcamp, an independent music store, in early 2022 for an undisclosed amount, only to sell the company to Songtrader a year and a half later. With all this money going out in recent years, it's no surprise Tim Sweeney said they'd be spending more money than they've made. Knowing all of this, it's even less surprising that the company felt like it had to remove 16% of its workforce. Who knows how Epic Games bounces back from this, and if they can actually produce more profitable ventures that aren't Fortnite. Let me know down in the comments your thoughts on all of this, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Catch you again soon. Peace.